Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a TV series review of one of the best TV series ever put out, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. This was, it ran from 1993 to 1999. It is a science fiction action adventure drama. This is a Star Trek series. It's the third in the series, Gene Roddenberry's masterpiece. And it took a divergent path from the others. The other two was a spaceship out exploring the frontier, basically. This was an alien spaceship, space station, excuse me, and it's dubbed Deep Space Nine. It was originally called Galorndon Core. It was a Cardassian space station, and the Cardassians were bad guys. They had an empire, and they were subjugating different planets, and they had subjugated this planet called Bajor for some time. The Bajorans kicked them off. They kicked the shit out of them and made them leave. They left their space station behind. Well, the Bajorans decided, hey, we can use that, so they're going to occupy it and use it as a defensive station for the planet. And they found out that there's a stable wormhole there. So, somehow or other, it explains it in the first episode. But they moved the space station to the mouth of the wormhole, and now it's guarding this wormhole. This space station, this wormhole, excuse me, opens up onto the far end of the galaxy. And it's, rather than them out exploring things come to the station. And the way I originally thought it was going to limit their ability not being able to move, but they did it well. They did it really well, really well. This is an essential to every household. Star Trek is essential no matter what, but this particular series is an essential. They tell stories of action and adventure, upstanding morals, and intelligent drama. It's a positive depiction of mankind's future, and this is absolutely wonderful. They had another divergent here, and it was a really, really great first. Avery Brooks plays Captain Benjamin Sisko. Captain Sisko started out as Commander Sisko, but he got promoted, so now he's Captain Sisko. Avery Brooks was the first black star captain. He was the captain who was the star of the show, and he was the first black guy that played the first, the captain that's the star of the show. I didn't say that well, but my point is, he did a good job. This guy's a great actor, and oh my God, I don't think they could have picked that. They would be hard pressed to find a better actor to play that. Avery Brooks was brilliant. Renee Auberjonois plays Odo, a shape-shifting security chief. That's always nice. They call him a changeling. Cyric Lofton plays Jake Sisko, Captain Sisko's son. Alexander Siddig plays Dr. Bashir. Cole Meany plays Miles O'Brien. Miles O'Brien was originally on The Next Generation. He had little bit parts here and there. Later became the transporter chief, and he got transferred to Deep Space Nine as the operations chief of operations, kind of like the engineer, fixing stuff. Nana Visitor played Major Kira Nerys. She's a Bajoran who the agreement with Starfleet was they needed help running the station, but they wanted their independence, and Starfleet said, sure, no problem. So they sent somebody to run the station. But Bajor didn't want to be completely left out, so they had a person who was second in command of the station, Major Kira Nerys. And she had been a resistance fighter against the Cardassians for years, almost her whole life. And she had that background to bring to the station. And the acting here is brilliant. Armin Shimmerman plays Quark. They have what they call the promenade, and it's like all the shopping places and the bars and the restaurants and things like that on the station. And Quark is a little Ferengi dude, and he runs a bar. And he's for those of you who don't know, a Ferengi is the cutthroat capitalism, I guess, for lack of a better word. Profit at any cost. Laws are more guidelines, kind of thing. They go by the rules of acquisition. It's you got to see it. It's pretty good. And Quark made the series. It would not have been the same without him. Armin Shimmerman is a great actor. You got Terry Farrell, who played Jadzia Dax. She is a... Oh, the name of the race eludes me, but it's a trill. That's what it is. It's a joined species. They have this little snake thing in them, and the snake thing grants them certain other abilities. And when the person gets ready to die, the snake comes out and goes into another person, and it's kind of weird, but it makes for an interesting character because you can have multiple lives with the same person. So, Jadzia Dax used to be Curzon Dax. Curzon Dax was instrumental in the peace treaty talks, the negotiations with the Klingons. So he's got Klingon friends, including Kor, Kang, and Koloth from the original series. 3 badass Klingons. Captain Kirk kept having run-ins with them, but now apparently they're good guys. And Kor is played by John Colicos, one of the best actors ever, and he plays an iconic character, Kor, the Dahar Master. And you got to see it. It's really good. This guy is at this point in his life, he's an old man who drinks a lot, and he's kind of not all there, but his tactical brilliance is awe-inspiring. They called him the Dahar Master for a reason. And of course, later on, when the Star Trek: The Next Generation series ended, they brought over Michael Dorn as Worf to help out with the situation with the Klingons on the station, and that added an entirely new element there. And Worf, the character Worf, is wonderful. Michael Dorn's a brilliant actor. They had talks about him being having a series on his own called Captain, kind of like a Captain Worf series when he got promoted and became the captain of a starship. And that would have been brilliant. I'd love that, because that's my favorite character from The Next Generation was Worf. My favorite character from this one, that's a tough one. They're all good. It'd have to be Miles O'Brien, played by Colm Meaney, M-E-A-N-E-Y, and M-E-A-N-Y, excuse me. Really great characters. He and the Dr. Bashir spend time in a holosuite, the holodeck holosuite. It's like an imaginary playground, and they keep refighting the Battle of the Alamo and all kind of stuff. The Battle of Britain, losing battles, as it were. But if you get a chance to watch this, it's really great TV, great programming. The only problem people had with this, I think, was at one point they did a war. They went into a war with this other group called the Dominion, and it was a very cutthroat war. And the way they did it was very it stressed the horrors of war, which needs to be talked about. Otherwise, we keep going to war over and over and over. Nobody wants war, right? Because it's bad. Well, this shows how bad war can get. And they did a lot of really good topics. One good thing about Roddenberry's Star Trek is his science fiction mirrors our reality, and it raises social issues that we don't normally talk about, or maybe sometimes we have a hard time talking about. Well, this brings it right up in your face and forces you to talk about it, and it's good. But it does it in a way that's not forceful or mean or vicious. It does it in such a way that we can talk about it and it's not so bad. But if you get a chance to see this, the TV series is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and if you haven't seen it, you need to. And if you have seen it, watch it again because you need to. It's just really great. Anything Star Trek on it is good, except for this new stuff. J.J. Abrams' Star Trek and the ones after that, Star Trek Discovery and like that. I talk about that in some videos. Yeah, you can miss those. It's okay. These older ones, however, that's the shit. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.